It's playoff time. We're here on Friday Night Insights with probably the last Friday games we're talking about. It'll be Saturday from here on in the playoffs for the most part, but we have a few this week. We're going to forgo our surprises from Week 9 because nothing surprises us at this point, and talk about our games. Ben gets to talk about a few more games this time.
Woohoo! Small school football.
Here we go. 1A, Wethersfield Anawan, a nice club.
Yes, it is.
Over at the Bunnies of Fisher.
Another nice club, although got knocked around a little bit in the HOI, but the HOI did qualify 7 teams for the playoffs. So
2 7-2s here.
2 7-2s. Anawan, Wethersfield, led by J.D. Derminski, who just became Wethersfield's all-time leading rusher. He passed Ben Nelson. He's got something like 3,346 career yards.
Yeah, that's not easy. 46
touchdowns. Yeah, Ben Nelson was a heck of a runner, both at Wethersfield and Augustana. Fisher, led by Colt Unzicker, another standout running back. He's got like 1,600 yards and 16 touchdowns. So it's going to be a nice little battle on the ground there, see who can kind of top the other.
The Anawan kids going to make the difference?
I think the Anawan kids will make the difference.
There we go. United's at Princeville. They know each other, if not these particular classes.
Very familiar with each other from their days in the Lincoln Trail. I think they met 3 times before the West Prairie Trail split, and United was 3-1 in that stretch. United's been a little bit of a struggle. They've lost 3 in a row, or 2 of their last 3, since Adam Olin went out.
Yeah, the injuries have been killing them.
Yeah, the injuries have just been silly there. Princeville.
Yeah, Mohawks going on in United right now?
No, not that I've seen lately. Not that I've seen yet. But Princeville giving up a whopping 7.4 points a game and has only been allowed two touchdowns twice all year in 2 games. So
Princes move on.
Princes do move on.
You echoing these things?
Yeah. So far, yes.
Okay.
And the problem is if I pick, I can't switch in the paper, so I'm just going to sort of. If I pick something on here, it could judge the paper
blatantly cheating. Couching it.
Yeah, once I actually research some of these small school games.
There's been some NFL games I wanted to switch between second and final, or first and final. Just going in, just give me half of each, but never did it. Bushnell, Prairie City, and Avon at Fieldcrest.
I am looking.
Couple teams that maybe were better in September than October, or is that saying too much?
I'm not 100% about BPCA. I don't know quite what happened there against Havana. That was kind of a shocker. But then again, you run into a team that's playing for its first postseason bid in 11 years, and you've already got yours locked up. Certain things can happen. Fieldcrest, they were rolling after week 1.
Actually, they just had.
They just ran into.
Let me qualify that. El Paso Gridley
was
a pretty good team, fully staffed, and they won that rivalry game in week 9.
Right.
That's all.
So. I'm excited to see this game. I think it's going to be a heck of a game. That's why I wanted it. So, Fieldcrest obviously still looking for that first playoff win in school history, and maybe the first win ever in Monunk. We're a little unclear on what happened in '83, but we know they didn't win their other 3 times in the playoffs as Monunk and Rutland. So,
Augusta Southeastern is at Carthage, otherwise known as Illini West, and we assume at this type of time that Carthage wins.
Carthage will win. I really think the Chargers might end up in Champaign. I just get that feeling coming out of Carthage. But this is another. They met in week 3. Illini West was 41-12, or won 41-12. CPC was 2-0 at that time, but they've since finished 5-4 to sneak in. So, real interesting game because Bill Reed used to be one of Jim Unruh's right-hand guys at Carthage all those years, and coached both his kids.
Right.
Joe Reed, remember him?
On Saturday, we let Wes talk a little bit. We'll start with the bigs. Springfield High, once 7-0, now 7-2, comes to Richwoods.
Yeah, it's Springfield showed a little bit of weakness against the run last week. Washington was able to run for almost 400 yards on them, and anytime you struggle against the run against Richwoods,
it's going to
be a long day. Springfield's coached by Mike Taylor, a former Bergen guy. So I
didn't realize that.
Yeah, he's had some big games of his own at Richwoods Stadium throughout his career. So he's excited to get back and play a team that is basically in his own backyard. He lived like a block away from Richwoods High School.
And what about that quadrant the Knights got thrown in?
Oh, my. They win this game. They got Sacred Heart Griffin, and then they win that. Then they get the survivor of like a Bloomington normal community game. So
rumor has it Sacred Heart Griffin's been busting out the old school purples lately.
They did against Springfield actually.
That was that was all the rage down in Springfield.
Yeah. That's it.
Dunlap at Woodruff, I absolutely love the factoid that finished your whole column, I believe. The Dunlaps never played in the
Never.
city limits.
Never.
Never.
Closest they've got is Peoria Heights. So they could have maybe
Boy, that's got to be a whole different size to go.
Yeah, they
With
sort
a
of.
lot of $400,000 houses.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Dunlap at Woodruff. I sort of feel like I've been victim of over-respecting both these teams at different parts.
And that's the thing. It's like
under-respecting.
Right, both of these have sort of like been. I mean, Dunlap last year won a playoff game and then maybe lost one they probably should have won. So it seems like they've had their share of underachieving over the last few years. And I think this is an interesting game. It's a really low-scoring game, I think, but I think Woodruff pulls out in the close.
I think you're right. I think they might have a little too much speed for Dunlap.
And East Peoria at Washington is a game of high intrigue, a rematch.
Yeah.
It'd be more intrigue if they were all eligible, but
Yeah. But Washington's just playing way too well right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're finding ways to win close games. They erased a 9-point deficit 2 weeks ago against East Peoria. Then they travel down to Springfield in the game they really don't have to win,
still put it on.
pull that out 28-27 with big games. And I just think East Peoria's obviously the quarterback hurts them. I think they're going to pass a little bit this week, and in addition to the run game they've installed the last few weeks. But I think Washington wins it. Home game, nice atmosphere.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
1 point over Springfield. I'm not sure how impressive that is. Metamora over Centennial again?
Yeah.
Didn't we do this in 07?
Yeah, they're going to roll that one again.
Centennial's a little better than the average 5-4 and 5A, but still, I mean, they're playing Metamora.
Streeter and U-High play a game we can't figure out who's going to win to play into Metamora.
Yeah, I'd like to see U-High win, so the Birds go down and play at Hancock Stadium. That'd be a nice little
Homer.
treat for them. I'm an ISU guy, yeah, but I think that's fun for any kid to go be able to go
I agree,
play
that
a
is fun to
playoff
play
game
on
at
the turf.
Hancock. Yeah.
Especially when you're the best team there all year.
Woo! Oh, hello.
IVC at Mahomet, Ben. The only 8-1 traveling in the state.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Tim Hines still not very happy. They've managed to anger a very, very large man.
The only 8-1 team in the state that plays on the road.
Yeah.
And
And the reason really is that they had to quadrant the division because it has so much deep
Well,
south.
and the quadrant still makes no sense because you've got Paris going all the way to Quincy, Notre Dame.
I mean,
Well, it doesn't,
somebody has to go
because there's
Yeah.
the rest. The other one is all deep south.
I agree, but
You know.
I mean, who else goes to Quincy though?
well, you could have cut it in half and sent like Paris to BCC. I don't know. I mean, it's tough, but
I guess you could have done that. But
that's still
I'm sure
a long
they tried.
way.
There's one team kind of close to Quincy, maybe a Highlander or Triad. Or
yeah,
something.
I think it's
Yeah.
Scott Johnson, the IHSA, who deals with this computer.
Yeah.
thing. I know he's not out to.
No, he's not definitely not
No.
out to mess anybody up, but
Can the Ghost do this?
it's going to be tough. Muhammad's got this kid named Andrew Brewer's run for almost 2,000 yards and 26 touchdowns.
He's
He's
stud.
pretty much the truth. The good news is IVC is totally healthy. They've got both their runners back.
Really?
So
Okay.
that should be a bit of an edge.
I might go see that game. That's
You're more
good
than welcome to
football.
jump in the car, man.
That's good football.
Papa Del's afterwards if we weren't traveling to the city.
The city.
The
Okay,
city.
real quick on the
Tremaine.
Smalls on Saturday. D-Max at Milledgeville with a tall order.
That's a real tall order, although I don't think Milledgeville's the top seed in the northern half, but they're not. I don't think they're the best team. They're probably the third best team in the northern half. But still a tall order for the Chiefs, who had to claw past Tremont.
We
last
picked
week.
Milledgeville.
Absolutely.
Stark County, not so hot lately, plays at Chicago Hope in a game that's really hard to understand.
That was absolutely the best draw they could hope for.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I mean, Hope is just not. They've played two teams with winning records and beat one by 1 point and got smoked by St. Rita by 50. So for 6-3, that's a heck of a draw.
Farmington at Moments.
Don't know much about Moment. Still kind of trying to figure that out. But the Farmers are trying to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and replace Charlie Bologna, but it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, I think.
And a great game. Elmwood Brimfield, whose late season surge has been so impressive.
Absolutely.
Going to Bureau Valley, who's just doesn't matter how much they're supposed to be rebuilding, they reload.
I'm just thrilled Lonnie Schwindenhammer's on this game. That just
Lonnie
feels right.
Schwindenhammer is on
That
it.
just
Right.
feels so right.
Dusted off
these
the
two
old
met.
leather bag.
These two met in a quarterfinal a couple years ago that Bureau Valley just steamrolled like 55-12.
Yeah, but that was state title.
That was.
Bureau Valley stuff.
I think Bureau Valley's going to make another deep run here, though. They got a lot of size on that line. So
Some more games out there. That's why you buy the paper, right? They'll pick them all. We got 24 total games plus Quincy Notre Dame, which is a honorary area team because they're the champs of our conference. And we'll have about as many games next week.